look how beautiful these jalapenos are. This is exactly what you want for this dish. Sometimes you get them a little smaller, but to be honest, if you find them nice and big like this...
They're gorgeous.
Oh, they're so much easier to stuff too, and then you've got a really decent-sized little serve.
I mean, the quality of the produce is half the job, right? It's going to look sexy as just from that beautiful chili. So
if I can get you grating some mozzarella, all I'm going to do here is mix. I've chosen a cream cheese that's already got some chives. It's got some dill or chives in there. So I'm going to combine that cream cheese with the grated mozzarella, and that's going to be the filling for our poppers. Now, you want to take a sharp knife, just go down the centre, and I'm not cutting all the way through. I just want to kind of tease it open, squeeze out. Using a teaspoon is the easiest way to do it, I find. And then just scoop out the seeds and some of that pith so that you're creating a nice hole for your filling. Do you make these at home, Mike?
Do you know what? I've never made them.
Really?
Never, not once.
Oh.
And it's one of my favourite things to eat. So I don't know why I've never made them.
Okay, a little bit more, I think. Maybe about half and half is normally how I do it. Maybe a touch more. Slice down, pull out the filling. I think these are my favourite kind of chilli. I'm a little bit addicted. I have them pickled, I have them fresh. I put them on things all the time that aren't supposed to be with chilli.
I love it. I've got lots of jalapeno little plants growing in my garden at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
And then all we're going to do to these once we've filled them is basically just like you do a chicken, you know, a crumbed chicken or a crumbed fish, is put them in flour, then egg, and then breadcrumbs. Okay. Do you want to do the stuffing for me?
Sure.
And then just as much as you can pack in, basically, but without it tipping out too much.
I was going to say, Jo.
You know, you don't want to...
You know I'm an overstuffer.
I don't want that cream cheese bubbling out through my breadcrumbs. And then literally all I'm going to do is, and here's a good little tip though, I'm going to flour, then egg wash, and then these are my whole grain breadcrumbs. This is the way I use up my extra bread. So I always buy a whole grain or wholemeal sourdough is my favourite. And you know, it kind of goes off and it's not so great for eating after a couple of days. Dry it out in your bench top, whiz it into breadcrumbs in your food processor or blender, and then I pop it on a sort of flat baking tray into the oven, low oven, for about 15, 20 minutes so that it really dries out. And then you can just keep it like dry breadcrumbs in your pantry. And I use it for all these kind of dishes. Next tip is to breadcrumb twice. So do flour, egg, breadcrumbs, do it twice so that it's really, really well coated and you get a lovely crumb on your poppers. Okay, so eggs into a bowl. And just whisk them up with a fork. And this is the really, really messy part. You do have to get your hands into this. Okay, so let's pop our filling out the way. And we'll do this in order. Sometimes I try and do one hand for doing the flour and one... Yeah. Do you know what? You just end up in a mess anyway, don't you?
You do.
So coat well in the flour first, then into the egg wash. Actually keeping the stock on like that helps you not be quite so messy. And then into the breadcrumbs. And then we'll do the rest of them. I'm literally going to drizzle them or spray them with some extra virgin olive oil, pop them in the air fryer. They're ready in about 10 minutes. Okay, Mike, I think... Oh, yes.
Oh, look at those.
Oh, yes. Beautifully crispy on the outside.
And that was pretty quick, right?
Gooey mozzarella, I can see, starting to come out. Yeah, that was just 10 minutes.
Wow.
I did do that at 200, and you know what? I'm going to go back to my 180.
Yeah, well, I said to you before, you're only doing 4, Jo. Why 4? They're massive.
They are massive. Those are particularly big jalapenos, but hey, I'm not going to complain about a very big jalapeno popper. Shall we cut one open, actually, just so we can see the inside?
Yeah,
I'm going to let it cool down a little bit before I let you taste it, because I don't want you to burn your mouth, but just want to show you how glorious that inside is.
That is.
So you want that mozzarella in there because that's what gives the stringiness, but then the cream cheese is just adding a beautiful creamy flavour to it. Honestly, they are just the best. Maybe with a nice cold beer, dare I say it? Dare I say it?
Glass of shardy as well.
Nice, yeah, works for me.